What is up? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Back with some more Spider-Man 2 gameplay for you. And today I'll be talking about the news that basically took the whole comic world by storm in terms of comic book movies. And that is the whole news that Robert Downey Jr. is playing the role of DrDoom. And that some of the Avenger movie is going to be rechanged to be in Avengers Doomsday instead of Avengers Kang Dynasty, as well as leading up to the Secret Wars. And that he is going to be playing the role of DrDoom. Now, I let this sit on me for a few days. I've heard a lot of people what they had to say, what they had to feel about this, and as well as new information coming out about it. I think now that I've sit on it, I've thought about it, I let it, I talked to somebody else about it, some other people that I know about it. I think I can come up to how I honestly feel about this whole decision. This just reeks of absolute. This was a desperate Hail Mary play from Marvel Studios. I mean, there's no way it's not. Now, that's not to say that I can't possibly see it maybe working, but regardless if it works or not, this is just pure desperation. This is just them saying, oh my God, we've got to do something, and this is what we're going to do. But just in case you might not understand my point of view, I've seen some people say that, hey, he could play a good Dr. Doom possibly. That has no bearing on why I think this reeks of desperation, why I don't think this is necessarily a great idea. I'm not saying he can't play Dr. Doom. I'm not going to discount Robert. But the problem is that Robert Downey Jr. unfortunately has a huge elephant in the room when it comes to playing the role of Dr. Doom. You just got to think about it like this, guys. Of all the people they could have cast for Dr. Doom, why in the world would you pick Robert Downey Jr. of all people? Not from a standpoint that, he's the worst person to possibly do it because of his acting ability. No. It's from the obvious elephant in the room. The fact that Robert Downey Jr. played not just any character in the same universe, but the character. The character that basically started the whole MCU. The most respected and loved character who had a beginning and end to his whole character arc and a satisfying conclusion to his whole character arc. The character that said 5 years ago, I guess more the actor, the character saying that, this is it. And granted, I expect him to return in some shape or form in some type of maybe small mini role or something, just be a mini crowd pleaser for the fans. But if you were to tell me that after Endgame, 5 years later, he would come back playing the role of Dr. Doom, I would have laughed you out of the building. But unfortunately, there's no laughing now. It's for real. I'm sorry, guys, but to a lot of the people watching this is going to be really distracting. I mean, and if you're thinking, hey, he's got the mask on, you might not see. Listen, there's no way that they're going to have Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom and he's not going to reveal his face. There's just no way. But ask yourself this. Let's just say they didn't reveal who played him, and we just saw it 2 years later in the Avengers, Doomsday, and we saw it, while we're watching the movie, and no one ever knew. The fact that they reveal this 2 years from now basically screams one thing. We are trying to get people butts in the seat. We're trying to get people excited again about the MCU, because they've not had a really great last 5 years altogether. They have a few successes, but a lot of failures. And this move just screams, hey, Robert Downey Jr. is someone everyone loves. We're going to bring him back. But they're forgetting the fact that just bringing him back in any form is not going to be good enough anymore. Because a lot of people don't buy and believe in terms of a lot of the characters that are left in the MCU. And just returning a guy who, if you don't know, obviously passed away as Iron Man, and returning him as a completely another character. But not just any character, the character, Marvel's greatest villain. It's just, wow. I mean, you could have had so many people play him. Nobody was expecting it to be Robert Downey Jr. because why in the hell would they do that? The fact that they are just screams, we are desperate. But I don't think it's going to work out the way they think it is. I mean, their writing has kind of gone downhill the last 5 years. They're going to have to get a lot better writing team. But that's where it comes into the desperation. So obviously, what's come out now is the reason why Robert Downey Jr. and what his incentives were to come back. And that's where the following. He wanted the Russo brothers to write the 2 Avenger films. And I get it. If you feel comfortable or you like a certain writing team, I don't have any problem with that. But they're not just coming back to write a movie. They're getting a huge payday. I mean, they're getting an $80 million payday for these films. Now, that's a lot of money for anyone, let alone a director, but they're getting a huge payday for that. But now we're going to hear reports that, Robert Downey Jr.'s payday, because remember, this was before he won the Oscar. Now that he has an Oscar in the belt, he's going to get an even bigger payday, so we're going to guess probably over $100 million, not to mention all the other incentives like having, chartered jet, trailer, etc., etc. Like, this guy is getting a lot of things. I guess he's really easy to do that Dr. Doom role or something. I mean, he's going to have so much money now that he might be able to have a real-life Country of Latveria. But nonetheless, the fact that they're willing to spend that much insane money just to get a certain actor and then concede those actors' demands in terms of what he wants, and then the directors and then their insane payday. I mean, that's basically God knows how much of the budget that is. And if we already know these Avenger movies, they're going to have a lot of costs for marketing. They're going to cost a lot to make, as well as all the other people that are going to be in them. Are you going to tell me with the way the MCU has been going lately that they're going to produce Avenger Endgame type of money? Because they're going to have to in order to make a profit of how much all this stuff is going to cost. So it just, to me, it just reeks of desperation. I'm not saying it's impossible that it can't work, but a lot of things are going to have to hit. And the problem is like, once you get over the novelty, Robert Downey Jr. is back. Okay, just remember that what made those other Avenger movies successful was not just Robert Downey Jr. They had a bunch of other successful characters in there. So are any of them, going to come back to have the same relevance as Chris Evans, Captain America, or a Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, or Thor, Chris Hemsworth, which I know he's still there, but a lot of people don't look at him the same way. They look at him more as a joke. So I don't know if you're going to have that same effect. As I said, I want it to work out. I hope it does. But then we get the other thing, and this is more just me speculating. I don't know, but it gets to the whole Dr. Doom part. Dr. Doom is one of my all-time favorite villains. He is Marvel's greatest villain. Like, him and Magneto are two overall best villains they've ever created. And he has been done dirty for 2 straight movies. If they do him dirty for a 3rd straight movie, there's just no hope. Now, it's not the fact that I can't see Robert playing him, but here's the thing, and someone was come up with this idea, and I hope to God it's not this. What if it's an evil variant of Tony Stark, and he's just happened to play Dr. Doom? I know they say it's Victor Von Doom, but you know how they can skew the information, they can manipulate the words and change it on a dime. I hope it's really Dr. Doom and not just some evil Tony Stark variant, because, people might bring up, hey, they've done it before in the comics. Guys, just because they've done it before in the comics doesn't mean they should do it in a movie. Some comics aren't just that good. Some ideas just aren't that good, guys. I'm sorry, but I want actual Victor Von Doom, and I'm afraid they might do that. Not to mention, because it's Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr., I should say, he's not going to be wearing a mask all the time. He's going to take it off, whether his face is disfigured and scarred or not, who knows, but they're not going to pay him all that money and not show it's Robert Downey Jr. How is all the other characters going to react? Are you going to make it more, because, we have Tom Holland Spider-Man still around. Are they going to have it more, he's going to react to that looking like his old mentor in the MCU verse? Because the thing I'm worried about is Dr. Doom is an important character, but he's an important character for this other group who has been done just as dirty, and that is the Fantastic Four. And I know you're going to have your Fantastic Four movie coming out next year, but my point is that I want this whole thing to be a rivalry between Reed Richards and Dr. Doom, not just tying in MCU points from the past because, hey, you got Robert playing, and everyone's going to be like, oh, he looks like, Tony Stark or something like that, because I know they're going to probably do that. They're going to. I just think it's more disrespectful for the Fantastic Four and Dr. Doom as a whole. I want this to work out, guys, but I'm just seeing more holes in it. And the good thing is they got 2 years to get it right. They got a solid writing team that has past success. I hope they know what they're doing. I hope they can do it right. What I want from these films is I want us to look at Dr. Doom and be like, okay, now I see why that's Marvel's greatest villain. I want him done right. I want the whole rivalry between the Fantastic Four, especially Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom, done and respected, because that's got to be a big part. Yeah, you can have certain interaction with other Avenger characters, but I just hope they don't blow their whole budget as well as on paying, Robert as well as the Russos. I mean, that's a lot of money, guys. And I know, it's Disney, but they haven't been swimming in a lot of money lately. I know they obviously got a big boost with the whole Deadpool Wolverine, but the amount of money they're going to have to make a profit, especially paying all the other people and how much the budget for the film is going to be on top of all the marketing. It's a lot of things that got to go their way. I want it to be good, guys. I do, but I just have a really bad feeling. But you know what? As I said, we got 2 years for this thing comes out. Hopefully, they're doing their homework, and I wish them the best of luck. But nonetheless, as I always like to say, that is my opinion. I want to hear your guys' opinion. How do you feel about the casting of Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom as a whole, in terms of the fact that this was the guy who played the de facto character from the MCU? Is that going to be distracting? Are you able to, get over it? Do you think it'll hurt some other aspects of MCU, or do you possibly see it working out? Let me know down in the comment section down below, but thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully I can see you guys back in the next one. Thanks, and I'll see you all later. Peace.
Mister.